This is where the timeline goes from how did he keep getting away with it to everything is happening at once. Because in 2019, Jeffrey Epstein's world finally snapped into the public spotlight, and the case turned into a chain reaction that's still echoing today. It starts on July 6, 2019, when Epstein was arrested and later charged in Manhattan federal court with sex trafficking of minors and conspiracy. Prosecutors alleged the abuse involved underage girls and that he worked with employees and associates, paying some victims to recruit other girls. For about a week, the biggest question was simple: would he get out? Epstein pushed for bail, offering strict conditions. But on July 18, 2019, a judge denied bail and ordered him detained while the case moved forward. From there, the pressure only increased. Epstein was held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. The Department of Justice Inspector General later documented how serious the supervision issues were inside that facility. The OIG report notes Epstein was housed in the Special Housing Unit, and that the facility had requirements around his monitoring, including a cellmate requirement at certain points, something the report says staff failed to follow right before his death. Then comes the moment that turned the entire case into a global shockwave. August 10, 2019. Epstein was found hanged in his jail cell at MCC New York. The OIG report states the New York City medical examiner determined his cause of death was hanging and the manner of death was suicide, and the FBI determined there was no criminality related to how he died. But here's why the internet never let it go. The same OIG report also says there were numerous and serious failures by MCC staff, including policy violations and breakdowns in basic custody and supervision. One major failure the report highlights is that Epstein was left without a new cellmate on August 9, 2019, even though there was a written direction requiring a cellmate. And the report also documents serious problems with the jail's video recording systems, catastrophic failures that meant key recordings were not available after a certain point. So even with an official conclusion of suicide, the combination of mistakes, missing safeguards, and missing footage is exactly why the public reaction turned into, how did this happen in federal custody? After Epstein's death, a lot of people assumed the entire story would end there. It didn't. Investigators kept going, because the bigger question wasn't only Epstein. It was who helped him and how. That's where Ghislaine Maxwell becomes the next major timeline marker. On July 2, 2020, Maxwell was arrested and charged federally. Prosecutors alleged she helped recruit and groom underage girls for Epstein in the mid-1990s. Then the court outcomes started locking in the collapse phase of this story. Maxwell was found guilty by a jury on December 29, 2021, and in June 2022, she was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And most recently, in October 2025, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear her appeal, meaning her conviction stayed in place. While the criminal case against Epstein ended because he died, the aftermath continued in another way: money and accountability. A compensation fund for Epstein's victims paid out more than $121 million to about 138 people, according to Reuters, and then ended its claims process. So when people say Episode 3 is the collapse, this is what they mean. 2019 arrest bail denied death in custody official suicide, ruling plus documented prison failures investigation continues Maxwell arrested, convicted, sentenced victims compensation efforts. And it sets up Episode 4 perfectly, because the question turns into, what are the Epstein files people keep talking about, and what do they not prove? Drop your take in the comments. Did the story end when Epstein died, or did it just change form? And if you want Episode 4, the files explained clearly what's real versus what's rumor. Like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is Tea with Timeline.